Welcome, sweet friends, to the channel Frugal Money Saver. My name is Emmy, my husband is Paul. We are so glad you have joined us. Welcome to a day in our life. It is about 5:30 in the morning. I am a very early riser. We're going to take you along today with us just to share what we do as a frugal, retired couple. This is where I start my morning every day, seated right here at the kitchen table. I usually start by pulling out my planner, opening it up to the week, and just going over the things that I wanted to get done for the week. Everything has a line through it, so I accomplished what I needed to this week. And then I just check daily what needs to be done. And it just gets my morning off to a wonderful start. And I do some Bible reading. Then I use this small planner here. What I use this for is Bible journaling and any kind of prayer requests or reflections I have from my reading. Again, starting the day off on a very positive note. I get up between 5 and 5:30. Paul follows me down probably around 6, and then we will sit together. Once Paul comes down, he'll have coffee and we'll just talk about our plans for the day, what we want to get done. So we'll talk about what we want for dinner. Around 8 a.m., Paul and I start out for our morning walk on our local bike trail. We do 1 mile down the path and then we turn around and do a mile back. It never ceases to amaze us, the beauty that is out there. By taking our walk every morning, we're not only getting exercise that is essential, but connecting with nature as well. And all of this is free for the taking. This particular morning, we got to see the sweetest little bunny rabbit. And the majesty of a great blue heron. Just magnificent. We are home from our walk. We had a lovely, beautiful morning. We got to see a lot of nature, and that's typically how we start our day. For a while, everything had gotten so busy. We hadn't been walking, but we are back to it the last month or so, and it's been just wonderful. So now we're going to make a little breakfast. What we do before we leave for our walk in the morning, usually around between 7 and 8, is we wipe down the bathrooms, we'll run a vacuum, do things like that just to tidy up. Any big projects we have, like deep cleaning, are usually done in the afternoon, but we're not going to show you any of that today because that's no fun, right? So now we're going to just get into the kitchen, make a light breakfast so we can get on with our day. We just got home from our walk and now we're just going to have a little breakfast. I am cutting up the last of our sourdough that I made, and we're just going to have some simple toast. Paul will have a cup of coffee. I will have a cup of hot tea. Paul prefers his toast with just a little bit of peanut butter, and the peanut butter we use has dry roasted peanuts in it. If you can find a peanut butter that is just peanuts, that's always a little bit better. And then Paul likes his peanut butter with some honey. So we just drizzle just a little bit of honey over that. And I am having peanut butter on mine as well. I love my toast crunchy. And I like mine, a little bit of peanut butter, some sliced banana, and a little bit of cinnamon. And we're each having a serving of grapes. So this is a perfect, delicious, light breakfast. So that was light, delicious, and just hit the spot perfectly. Paul and I usually do 2 meals. We do one roughly around 10. We do eat an early dinner around 4. If we get hungry in between, we'll have a piece of fruit, or what I love to do is I'll take dates and put peanut butter in them and maybe some coconut, and I'll have 2 or 3 of those, and that's perfect. Or maybe we'll have some cheese and crackers, things like that. We don't really sit down to a lunch per se. Now we're going to drop off some items at Goodwill. We have not been to a thrift store in months, Paul, right? I mean, when was the last time we went?
Pennsylvania?
I think, yeah, like several months ago. What we usually do now is just drop stuff off and we don't even look around. But today I figured for filming, we'll look around, see if there's anything in there. It's a really inexpensive, fun way to spend a little bit of time in the afternoon. Now you need to realize, if you are new here, we are a frugal retirement couple. Meaning we don't eat out a lot. We don't go to the movies all the time. We're not spending a lot of money to keep ourselves entertained throughout our retirement. We just have fun in the day-to-day doing free and economical activities. We have hobbies. Well, you'll see all that. So now we're going to head over to Goodwill and drop some stuff off and just take a look around. So come on, let's get into the car and head on out. As we made our way through Goodwill after dropping off what we wanted to give to them, I just stood in awe. I guess our Goodwill just had been restocked. There was just so many items everywhere. Things that people had spent really good money on and just didn't want anymore. It was a little bit overwhelming at times. And honestly, seeing all this bric-a-brac made us really stop and think any purchases we were going to make. Right away, I noticed this still life. And oh my goodness, I was like, this is so beautiful. It was by Charles Wysocki. I thought this was so lovely. The frame was exquisite, but the water damage on the sides were just so severe. We saw a couple of things that caught our eye, and we'll show you at the end if we ended up taking anything home. When you see all the items in these Goodwill or any thrift store for that matter, how much money people have spent only to not want or be dissatisfied with the item they purchased. And when you think of the amount of money people spend on items, then get bored and give them away, it is astounding. And that's why we like to just look around every once in a while. Is there something there that we can use? Did we get anything? So let us show you. So many of you over on Instagram guessed that I would buy the bag of vintage linens for $3.99, and I did. So I'm going to open it up and I will lay it out and let's see what's in there. So here is our haul. Oh my goodness, they are beautiful. These are linen, it feels like, just gorgeous. There were 9 of these. There's 10 of these. We do keep paper napkins in the home for yucky things, but overall we use cloth napkins at the dinner table. Look at this one. You know this is Emmy's favorite. Look at that. Here's another one, just so pretty. There's a table runner. This one is definitely hand embroidered. How pretty that is. Now these green ones, we will use for rags. I don't think I would use those. So we are going to wash these all right now before we use them, get them right into the wash on a gentle cold cycle. I just have to show you with our plates. Okay, they're getting a glare, but look at this with this. So I am very, very happy with this little haul. $3.99. And yes, I did come home with the bone china plates. They are absolutely gorgeous. There's gold around the edges. They are pristine. I was so worried because they were wrapped together. And I was like, what if I get them home and they're all crazed? They're a perfect luncheon plate, snack plate. They are bone china. They're made in England, M&R. Just gorgeous. So this was a total win for me. No chips, beautiful. So I'm going to wash them by hand in hot soapy water and they'll be ready for use. So those were the items. Nothing crazy. The total cost was under $10. Like I said, we do this so rarely now. I have to say, a couple of years ago, we were in Goodwill at least once a week. We have totally stopped that. Wasteful, a lot of stuff we don't need. So now what we need to do is get back into the kitchen and start dinner. We do not eat out a lot at all. We just don't. It's a lot of money, and I never really feel good after we eat out. I have to be honest with you. There's so much sodium in the food, and it's just not the fresh ingredients like we use at home. What we use a lot in the summertime is our crock pot. We're going to prepare a cozy crock pot recipe now, and we're going to have some comfort food in the middle of summer, because as much as I love barbecuing all the time, it's nice to have some warm, comforting food, even though it's hot out, especially if preparing it doesn't involve heating up your kitchen. So let's turn this camera around and get dinner ready. The recipe we are making calls for a can of cream of chicken soup. Now, those of you who follow me know I don't even keep that in my home because it is so easy to make from scratch and so much better for you. So in this pan, I have 3 tablespoons of butter that I'm going to melt. The 3 tablespoons of butter melted, going to put that on low. And I'm adding 1 stalk of celery that I just cut into small pieces. And now I'm just going to add, I don't know, about 1/4 of a diced onion. And I am going to saute these for about 5 to 6 minutes or so. So these sauteed, I'm adding 3 tablespoons of flour, and we're just going to whisk this all together. Just cook this for about a minute more to make sure that flour is fully cooked. Now I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of milk and 3/4 of a cup of chicken stock. Chicken broth. We make our own, but you can use whatever you want. We're just going to give this a good mix. And we're just going to keep an eye on it, stir it until it is nice and thick. This cooked for about 3 or 4 minutes over a low heat, and you can see how nice and thick this is. And now you have got yourself what is equivalent to a can of creamed soup. And this brown rice and chicken cheesy crock pot meal fits the bill. It's made in the crock pot, super easy, and it keeps our kitchen cool. So what do we need for this? The original recipe, which I will link down below, called for 2 uncooked chicken breasts. Paul grilled a whole chicken outside the other day, and we have been making some delicious meals from it. So I'm going to use cooked chicken, but I am not going to put it in at the beginning of the recipe, and I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're also going to need 1 cup of mixed vegetables. These were frozen. I just defrosted them, and they are going to go in when the chicken goes in. I have got a 1/2 cup of chopped onion and 1 clove of garlic. We've got our homemade cream of chicken / cream of celery soup. I've got a cup of grated cheese. This is Jack cheese. I'm going to encourage you, buy blocks of cheese and grate them yourselves. There are so many caking agents and all kinds of weird things on pre-shredded cheese, and it doesn't take long to do. I have got a cup of brown rice and I rinsed it. The original recipe states that it has to be brown rice because regular white rice will become mushy and it really won't hold up very well in this recipe. And then I have 3 cups of my chicken stock, chicken broth, whatever you'd like to use, and some seasoning. That's all there is. Let's put this together. So I've got our crock pot here and I'm adding our 1 cup of rinsed rice. After I rinsed it, it looks like it got bigger. I was like, what is this? So we're just going to add that all in. We're going to add our 3 cups of chicken broth, our onion and our garlic, and our homemade cream of soup. And if you're using just a regular can, it would just be the regular size can of cream of chicken or cream of mushroom, cream of celery, whatever you want to use. I'm going to add some black ground pepper, a little extra garlic powder, a little extra onion powder, and whatever seasonings you want. And we're just going to gently give this a stir. Get this all mixed together. Now, if you notice, the cheese did not go in, the vegetables did not go in, and the cooked chicken. Again, I will link the original down below. If you are using the 2 raw chicken breasts that the original recipe calls for, you would cut it into cubes and add it now. I'm going to put the cheese, the chicken, and the defrosted vegetables back in the refrigerator just for a little while. We're going to cover this. Now it's supposed to cook on high, 3.5 to 4 hours. So while dinner is in the crock pot cooking, we're going to get outside now and work in our garden for a little while. That is something else we do all summer long. We do container gardening, which for us is perfect. There's no weeding, or if there is, it's minimal. It yields so much produce for us. It really does. And that is one way we occupy our time. We're saving money. We have organic produce coming into our home for a minimal cost. We use our own composted soil for the fertilizers. We don't use any pesticides. And it's a wonderful hobby. You're outside again in nature. And it's such a great feeling around this time of year here in New York when we can really start picking and eating what we produce. So let's get outside and see how the garden's doing, pick some produce, and we'll show you a part of our day that is pretty routine, that goes on pretty much from May all the way through September, and that's working in our little gardens. It is that time of year where we can actually reap what we sowed. Our Cubanelle peppers, which we call actually Italian frying peppers, are beautiful right now and they are ready to be picked. They're just a perfect size. Our little tomatoes, we have several different varieties. We have Super 100s. We also have a variety of bush tomatoes that Paul is showing you right here that are coming ripe now. So many wonderful flavors. Just look at how this colander is just filling up. We came out with it empty and now it's full. I also have to pick more basil. And always remember, when you clip your basil, to do it in the V. Do you see this V between the 2 leaves? Always cut it right above that. So it will keep blooming and you will keep getting basil all throughout the season. Look at this wonderful little harvest we're bringing inside. Paul is watering. We didn't set up our irrigation system this year. If you remember last year, we bought a small irrigation system from Amazon. It worked great. But we have been home most of the summer, so we've been able to hand water. And it has worked out perfectly. Look at how good these plants are doing. Do you all remember how tiny they were? These green onions are just out of control. We can't even keep up with them. My rosemary, just beautiful. We're back inside. How about our little harvest? Every day we're picking, every day the vegetables grow just a little bit more. The amount of basil I am getting this year is unreal. We'll use some, run outside and pick a couple leaves, but I am going to freeze a lot of that. And it's wonderful to have fresh basil through the winter. And the Cubanelle peppers, we like to stuff with a little Parmesan cheese, breadcrumbs, olive oil, and then you roast them in the oven. So delicious. And our tomatoes we've been adding to the salad. So we've really been very blessed with what it's yielding so far. And there's still so much more to come. So we still have a little time before dinner is ready. And this is the time Paul and I just kind of do our own thing for a little while. Maybe read, he'll play guitar, he'll work on his radios. I will also go work on YouTube. I will edit videos. I will create my thumbnail. Maybe I will film for a future video, things like that. So we are constantly busy, but busy with good things. So we'll be back in a minute when it's dinner time. It's almost dinner time. The house smells so good, but we have to finish up our crock pot recipe. Still have to add the chicken and the cheese. So let's get to that right now because I'm getting hungry. This cooked for just about 4 hours. Check the rice, make sure it's not sticking, it's got enough liquid. Every crock pot is different. So yours may cook in 3.5 hours. I'm adding our chicken and our vegetables, and we're going to mix everything together. And we're going to sprinkle our cup of shredded cheese all over the top. Cover it and cook it for approximately another 30 minutes until everything is heated through and the cheese is melted. Look at this cheesy, creamy goodness. Wow, look at that. Oh my gosh, this is a meal in one. I just topped it with a little fresh basil from the garden. This looks delicious. Comfort food in the middle of summer. Was that Paul approved?
That was definitely Paul approved. What a yummy meal.
What did you like about it?
So the chicken and the rice combination with the vegetables and the creamy sauce that came with it.
So good.
Everything was just a perfect blend. I guess that's what a comfort food is.
Yes.
The brown rice has a nutty flavor to it.
Yeah, I like brown rice.
It's not just that sticky white rice that we're so used to having all the time that you have to doctor up with salt and butter and gosh knows what else. So this whole meal was fantastic.
Good description, right?
Yum, yum.
It was really good.
Is there any left over?
Yeah, there's a lot left over, actually. Give that a try. I don't think you'll be disappointed. So now what we do, we wind down, we clean up the kitchen, and we have a little quiet time. This is pretty much a typical day. We do not always go to Goodwill. We may have to go and do some errands with Paul's dad. We may go over to the house and help him there. We may food shop for him. We may be food shopping for ourselves. We may have to run errands like bank and post office and things like that. But our day-to-day life is very full. As you can see, today we spent $10 and that was a special occasion. But most days we have found comfort and contentment in our home by having hobbies, by enjoying what is local to us, our bike trails, getting out early in the morning and sitting on the deck and having coffee and tea, watching the sunrise. These things are the greatest gifts and they are completely free. Please don't think you'll have nothing to do when and if you decide to retire, because your days will be more full then than they were when you're working. I don't know how we did it all before, honestly. What we do in the evening, like I said, after we clean up, we've got Hallmark Plus free for 3 months. We got a code in a mailer in the mail. So it's completely free for 3 months. And on my phone, I put a reminder when those 3 months are up to cancel it so I don't have to pay for it, but we are enjoying it. We are watching Chesapeake Shore. I think that's what it's called. We've never seen it. Oh, what a wonderful show. We just started season 1. I think we're on like episode 5, but just a really feel-good show. In the evenings, we watch an episode or so. So that's been really lovely. We hope you enjoyed peeking into our lives and seeing a basic routine day here in New York. Before you retire, just make sure you cultivate things in and around your home that you really enjoy and that really bring a smile to your face and that warm your heart. Question of the day. What do you do in the evenings that is no cost, that is part of your routine? Do you read at night? Do you watch TV? Is that when you clean the home or do your laundry? Do you garden in the evenings? What do you all do at night that, again, is low cost and frugal? Please share that with us down below, because maybe you will give us some ideas of things we can add, as well as encouraging our viewers. And we thank you so much for that. We ask that you take a minute and please give this a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button and come on in and be part of our frugal family. We ask you to be well. We ask you to be safe. And above all, we wish you blessings. Until our next video, may God greatly bless you. Well, our day is winding down and Dixie is all ready for bed already, but we're going to watch a little bit of TV. Are you ready for night nights? Okay, I'm going to have to squeeze in between Dixie and Paul, or maybe this corner.